How about now, B? I was just told YouTube didn't have no sound. How about now? So I done had that whole talk. Okay, I gotta keep that baby of mine. I know what's happening. Either I gotta remember to check it in the morning, or I have to keep her off my computer. Because what's happening is, for whatever reason, she's hitting my microphone on my computer, and I'm not even noticing it. And I leave the computer thinking everything is set up one way, and then, it just be them little people like, just stay out my stuff. And she don't go in my closet because I'm a little bit wider than her, so she can't fit my clothes. But she'll show get that eyeliner and be on this computer, honey. Won't she just stay out my stuff? So I done did all of that, and then YouTube, I'm so sorry. I'll do a rerun or something for you. But hey, hey. Let's go ahead. Go ahead. Why self-awareness matter? It's why it's why healing becomes possible. When you have self-awareness, you allow yourself to heal in places that you thought was impossible. Understand you can't fix what you refuse to face. If you refuse to look at it, if you refuse to look at yourself, if you refuse to accept where you are, then how are you going to fix anything? It's why peace feels real for the first time. That's why self-awareness matter, because self-awareness teach you that what you protect and what you release is your responsibility. When you lack self-awareness, you don't just feel lost. You live lost. Like, trust me, been there. Like, you don't just walk into this space of just a feeling. No, it's just not, you're not waking up and it's just a feeling. You're actually walking into spaces, feeling a little lost, feeling like you don't belong in this space, trying to find your way. You move through life reaching instead of choosing. And it's a different, just you out there just grabbing for whatever versus choosing what actually aligns and fit you. Yeah, I'm so glad you jumped over there. Not too much on Leah. I'm so glad you jumped over there. So, because I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't have even known. Um, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know who you are, you would allow people to define you. You will allow people to use you. You allow people to mishandle you, and you will allow people to mislabel you. That's coming from experience. This is coming from a space from myself where I had to go through this season of, before doing anything, I had to align with who I was. I had to be aware of who I was, what I was doing, and how I was showing up. Because if not, if I hadn't changed it, I would have continued the patterns of letting people use me. I would have continued to be in spaces where I was mishandled and mislabeled. That happened so often. And when I realized who I was and realized what I stood on, I realized too that other people's opinion of me don't matter. When you don't have self-awareness, you'll shrink to fit into a room that you was meant to stand out in. You would walk in there with your head down when your head should be high, because you belong in that space. You'll accept treatment that don't honor you because you don't even know what honors you. If you don't know what matters to you, you'll live according to what matters to everybody else. I have this thing with my children. Like, I didn't want to pick their professions. Yeah, we had choices. We had things in place. So they had to make a decision. So I put them in a position of making a decision, but I wasn't going to get in a position to make that decision for them. Yes, there was sometimes when, of course, we going somewhere. I have to say, I need you to change that outfit. It's just not working with where we're going. But I had to be in a space to allow them to make their own decisions. I didn't want to put so much of my expectations on them, because I didn't want them to really live. Yeah, I have expectations for them, but I didn't. I needed them to make decisions based on who they thought they were, and who they was becoming, and who they was looking forward to being. And well, baby girl is still growing. So we're still going through the motions. When I see my oldest, when I see my oldest, and see how he's moving through life and how he's being his own person, it makes me happy. It makes me happy because he's getting to be aligned with who he was, and what he wanted, and how he wanted to show up in life. So if it don't matter to you, If how you show up, how you present yourself, how you look at yourself don't matter to you, then you will be living according to what matters to everybody else. You'll follow their expectations, their traditions, their opinions, their fears, and then you'll think it's your life. I realized that, for a long time, I would do the whole decorating and this and that and all the high and holes of the holiday season. Now I'm grateful for those moments, but I realized a lot of the things that I was doing it because other people expected me to do it. I'm like, that's not even like, that's cute, but that's not even, to each his own. To each his own. What floats their boats, what float your boat and what float mine is going to be different. I had to be okay and be aware of the things that I liked versus the things that I didn't like, because I saw that I was living according to what other people expected of me. Your life is your blueprint. It's not someone else's blueprints. And self-awareness gives you the courage to build your own. It gives you the courage to build your own life, to sit in the space that you know that you're comfortable with because you know her or you know him. If you don't know what's unhealed in you, you'll keep operating from those broken pieces. If you don't know what's healed in you, you're going to keep operating from those broken pieces. You're going to keep finding yourself in those same places, in those same positions over and over again. Hold on. Baby girl didn't get her mental health day last week, baby. So she sure finna try to pull it down and let her go and stay. You'll keep attracting the same types of relationships. You'll keep repeating the same cycles because your triggers are driving your behavior. It's not that you are aware of self, it's your triggers. It's those things that's hidden, those things that you have to work on. Becoming self-aware allows you to work on those things. You will keep sabotaging opportunities because the old version of you is still in the driver's seat. That old version of you had been hurt, in business adventures. That old version of you had been in a position to where you was taken advantage of. And that old version of you, walked and had to, experience some things that allowed you to, have fear sitting over you. That old version of you is who you allowing to drive the seat of your destination. You're going to have to allow that old version of you to meet the new version of you. Self-awareness matters because it gives you your power back. It introduces you to the person that you have been avoiding. It helps you to understand why you do what you do, and why certain things hurt and scare you or confuse you or motivate you. It helps you to understand you. It helps you to connect with your past. And it helps you to connect your past with your presence. It helps you to understand that some of the things that you went through in life, they were seasons of learning, they were seasons of becoming. And it helps you to be able to connect the two together. Self-awareness is very important. Self-awareness allows you to reshape your future. So what we're speaking of and what we're talking about in this season in life, we're going to move in this next season with intentions. We're going to move into this next season with confidence. We're going to move into this next season aware of who we are, so that when we're putting our goals and our vision together, it all aligns. Self-awareness for me, it made life make sense. It brings clarity where there's confusion. It brings compassion where there's criticism. Where there is no direction, it brings direction. So when you're drifting away, you can kind of put yourself back in on track because you are aware. And most importantly, self-awareness is the first step to living intentionally. It's a step to walking in purpose. It's a step to becoming your highest, most aligned version of yourself. Self-awareness matters. And listen, when we walk through these 5 days, starting December the 1st, and from there, every first and third Monday, you can meet me on on Zoom. The link is in my bio. When we walk through these next 5 days together, I want you to start imagining what life could look like if you lived with this level of clarity every day. That's the kind of clarity I help build inside of the Vision and Goals workshop. So go ahead and click that link, because after we walk through these 5 days, there's going to be something that really pierces your soul and heart. And if it do grab at you and say, you know what, I need more, then great, because we will create a roadmap that actually match the person that you're becoming. But let's go ahead and keep on going, because we're just really getting started here. I want to share with you some real everyday signs that that you may need to build your self awareness, to get deeper with yourself. I had someone to ask me, a couple of days ago when I did a workshop, I had someone to ask me, how do you journal, or how do you start? I start by asking questions. So some of the questions that we will speak of here are those questions that you sit down with yourself and you answer those questions honestly. You're going to answer them without judging, because this is not a moment that you realize something about yourself that you don't like and then you start judging yourself. No, this is a moment that you realize something about life that you don't like, and you allow yourself to get deeper with it. You allow yourself to have clarity. So, some everyday signs that you may need to build deeper self awareness with yourself is you keep repeating the same mistake. It's different people, same patterns, different jobs, same frustration, different relationships, same outcomes. It's not fate. It's just lack of self awareness. Something that I had to learn. Bless my heart. I had to learn. I had to learn that I was lacking self awareness, and that's what was driving the choices that was underneath the surface. I really had to understand, like, okay, wait a minute. Now you went through 3 marriages, and well, they was a tad bit different. So you did a little work. They was still the same. So with that being the case, it may look like those moments I had to get to the point of realizing, like, it's not them, it's me. I'm the common denominator. It's decisions that I'm making. I'm attracting these people. So when you take away their habits or their behaviors, and you look at the fact that I was the common denominator, then it was some things I had to work on. I had to ask myself, why am I choosing these people? Why am I attracting these people? And it was according to how I looked at myself, what I was aware of versus what I was not. You get triggered easy. I'm telling you, go from 0 to 100 real fast. You have those moments where you shut down or you feel attacked, even when ain't nobody attacking you. Triggers, they are not weaknesses. They're unhealed wounds. When you are triggered by something, it means that there is something that is unhealed. When you're self-aware, then you realize that and you go start doing the work. When you don't understand them, they control you. I'm just saying. When the triggers that you have, the unhealed spaces that you have, when you don't understand them, they control you. So they show up in life in different places, and we'll talk about it. When you lack self-awareness, you struggle to explain what you're feeling. You've been in those moments. You just say, I'm fine. I'm good. Because you don't actually have the language for what's going on inside you. You feel it and it's there, but it's just all over the place. You can't get it out. You feel overwhelmed, but you can't describe why you feel overwhelmed. You feel frustrated, but you don't know why. Have you had the moments where it's like, okay, you could just be sitting there and out of nowhere, your whole mood just shift and change. Those moments, it's okay to sit just a little bit longer with self and figure out, okay, what am I really feeling? And why? What just happened? Look at what's going on, what's around you, what was your thoughts? Because sometimes you can be thinking something and it'll shift your whole mood. But when you are aware of those things, then you allow yourself the space to be able to work on them. This is a sign that you're disconnected from your inner world when you feel the frustration or just the overwhelmness and you just can't even explain it. I'm just saying. Another one is your emotions drive your decision. And you hear, people say, and a lot of times men say about women, but I think we both have those traits that those things that said that, you are always in your feelings and, you just so emotional. One bad day and you quit. One disappointment and you shut down. One tough conversation and you just want to walk away. When emotions is your driver instead of information, that's a sign that self-awareness is missing. When you allow your emotions to drive all of your decisions, you're not taking a moment to really sit down and map it out and see why why this situation is existing. And just take those moments. It's not a I don't know. You do know. You do know. But when you lack self-awareness, I'm sorry, when you lack self-awareness, you don't know what you want. It's like I want some, but I don't know what I want. You feel stuck, you feel confused. You say yes when you mean no. Trust me, been there in these moments. You follow people instead of leading your own life. Well, I'm gonna do what they do. I'm gonna dress how they dress. I'm gonna walk. This is what everybody expecting you to be a person, and here you are miserable on the inside, stuck and confused because you don't know what you want. You lack clarity. It's usually because you haven't spent enough time understanding yourself. You don't really know what makes you happy. You just, sometimes you happy about stuff that other people happy about, and deep down inside, you can care less. Not to be rude or anything of that nature, but sometimes we're just allowing ourselves to live out the expectations of others because we're not aware of ourselves. You feel disconnected from yourself. Like you're just going through the motions. Have you ever just been through that space where you're just going through the motions? You don't even recognize, who you're becoming. I've had those moments, and I spoke about it in other lives that, there was moments where I looked in the mirror and yes, I saw me, but I saw me. I didn't recognize the person that was behind the surface. I wasn't connected with myself as I should. Self-awareness is important. It matters. It's like there's a version of you inside that you haven't even met yet. When the pivot point in life for me came when I had to really just sit with self, you know, understanding, you go through seasons in life, and there was many seasons where the person that I thought I was in the moment, I looked in the mirror, I'm like, wait a minute, because the trauma and the drama and just life and just the, stepping over boundaries and just all the things, right? Self-awareness allows you to recognize the person that you're waiting to meet. We know he or she, we know is in there waiting to meet you. But in order for you to meet, in order for you to align, you're gonna have to be aware. You're living life on autopilot. You just wake up, you go to work, you take care of everybody else, you go home, you stroll a little bit on the internet, you sleep, repeat. No passion, no intentions, no awareness of what you need or where you're going. Just survival mode, not purpose mode. I have a lot of people asking, why do I wake up? I intentionally wake up early in the morning. I intentionally wake up early in the morning because although, I pick and choose when I'm at work, the way, the type of work I do, the contracts or what have you, the case, and how my day is spent, I spend my day intentionally. I spend my day so intentionally. If I want a nap, I'm going to get a nap. That's just how I structure my time. But however, I remember those moments of just waking up with just enough time to get ready for work, get out from work, get the kids together, make sure the spouse is together, make sure everything else together. Then you go to work and you have to be so alert and aware for the job and things of that nature. And then not one moment have you really took time for yourself. Not one moment have you really even sat and said, am I really walking and living in purpose? When I started asking myself those questions, I started realizing I wouldn't. So I came up with this thing years ago, and that's why I've now been an entrepreneur for 11 years. That wasn't my life. I didn't see myself waking up and giving everybody me before giving myself any of me. So the time that I was waking up to rush to somebody's job, it's the time that I actually wake up to put time in with myself. The time I actually wake up and whatever it is that I'm wanting to do for that morning. And sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes before folks been and woke up and open their eyes. There's not all the time. There's sometimes I need to put my foot in some water and soak, put me a little eye mask on, whatever it is I want to do, because that's purpose to me. I just had to switch. I had to go from just surviving into living in purpose. What mattered to me? Because what mattered to me, what mattered to you ain't gonna matter to everybody else. These are just signs that these signs here, they don't mean that something is wrong with you. And that's one thing. That's why I said, when you look at them, don't look at them with judgment. Look at them with understanding. It don't mean that something's wrong with you. It just means that it's time to slow down. It's time to check in with yourself, and it's time to reconnect with yourself. You have been living on autopilot. You have been living according to the expectations that other people have set on you. This season that we're about to walk into, I want you to ask yourself a question. How am I going to walk into this season? How am I going to show up? Not if I've showed up for everybody else. I've showed up for the kids. I've showed up for the job. I've showed up for the business. I've showed up for the spouse. I've showed up for the family. How am I going to show up for myself this season? And the first thing you're going to do is be aware. What is this season going to require you to show up as? Who is this season going to require you to show up as? Who do you want to show up as in this season? When you take the expectations of everybody else off of you and you set the expectations for yourself, that's when you get to live intentionally. Self-awareness doesn't judge you. Sometimes we go through things, oh, I done made this mistake. Baby, I've been married and divorced 3 times. And you ain't going to get me to feel bad about it. You're not going to get me to judge it. I ain't got no hard feelings, no hatred, no nothing. Whatever happened in those moments, in that season, I guarantee you, I have taken them, I have evaluated them, and I have allowed them to guide me by making decisions to be aware of who I am. I stepped into those spaces. I was the common denominator. So I had to look at how the common denominator was showing up. I don't feel bad about it. I'm not, you can say what you want to say, but that was life for me. Those moments and where it made somebody else may look down on it. Okay, that's your perspective. For me, it taught me some things. The more you become aware, the easier it is to shift, the easier it is to grow, the easier it is to choose better for yourself. If this is resonating with you at all, I just want to take a moment to stop and pause and invite you to the Vision and Goals workshop. This is where we will take those moments and those realizations and turn them into actual tangible directions to your life. It's not about pressure. It's just simply a space to get clear finally. It's a moment to where we don't just put goals together, that we actually identify with who we are, so that when we walk into the spaces this next season in life, we walk into those spaces being clear, confident, and driven by purpose, not just doing it. We doing it and doing it. Okay, let me move on. Y'all know I'm trying to stay on course. Y'all know I've been something popped to mind and I'll just go because I'm human before I'm anything else. So baby, I'm just here. But right now I'm just here to just share some things with you. Sharing my journey of healing and the steps that I had to take to get from where I was to where I want to be. And guess what? I'm still becoming. I am still becoming. So listen, I don't know what you're doing right now. If you're driving, you can do this step here later. If you're sitting down somewhere with yourself, I want you to just grab a notebook. I want you to open your notes app on your phone. And I just want you to sit still with your thoughts for a moment. We're going to do it's very quick, but I guarantee you it is powerful. A self-awareness check-in, real quick. I have 5 questions that can unlock things you've been carrying for years. They did it for me. Actually, when I started doing the journal prompts, I have journal prompts. I have a journal that I've actually created journal prompts with. You can check the link in my bio if you want to check it out, or you can create your own. However, hey, just do it, right? Like Mike said, just do it. But these are some of the questions that I first asked myself when I was starting the journey of just healing. I needed to know about self. What drains me? I want you to ask yourself the first question. We got 5. What drains you? Who or what has been pulling from you emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically? What drains you? Look at every conversation that leaves you feeling heavy, the environments where you found yourself in and shrunk, the responsibilities that you keep saying yes to, even though they exhaust you. What's draining you? Your energy ain't gonna lie to you. Pay attention to what consistently drain you. I had to find myself, you ever been in conversations with individuals? My circle I keep kind of small because I do have to protect my energy. And I do feel that those that is connected to me, I have kind of low key responsible with protecting their energy from me. So I need to make sure my energy is straight, right? And together. So certain conversations I'm not going to sit in. And I've been in conversations actually a few days ago. I had someone stop over that was doing some work at my house, and I wasn't trying to be nosy. I was over here minding my business, but it was working in the conversation that they was having with someone else. Baby, I just felt my whole inside just turning upside down. I was just so uncomfortable. And it wasn't nothing talking about me or anything. Just the conversation was draining me so, and I had to politely say, "Hey, I'm not trying to be rude or funny. I ain't even in your business. Your business. But could you just play some music? Is it okay if you just end that conversation for a minute and just play some music because it has drained my spirit? Like it was draining." And the person actually ended up, kind of acknowledging, like, yeah, I can understand. I can see. Yes, yes, because now I pay attention to what drains me. I'm not gonna even sit around and just stay in conversations. Like, I would leave that space. The conversation ain't even got to be about me. Ain't nobody got to be talking about me. But if just being in that space, it's just like being in a space with a stinky smell. You don't want to sit up in it. That's Look at what's draining you. What gives you peace? That was one of those things that another question that I had to ask for myself. What makes your soul breathe? Is it quiet mornings? I love them. Is it journaling? So peaceful. Is it prayer? You better talk about it. Being alone. I am introverted, extroverted. So yes, I love the best of both worlds when it comes down to that. Being creative. Now, there's some things that I be over here creating, child, and I be like, girl, what was you thinking about? But it's my space. What brings me peace? It brings me peace. Even if I don't know what it's going to turn out to look like, just being creative with my time, with my energy, it do bring me peace. Pay attention to the moments that you feel calm and grounded and aligned. Like, I love being a coach. Um, I do. I love being a coach. I love being a motivational speaker. There's moments that I get into those spaces, and y'all, if you was just sitting on the inside, baby, you'd be like, okay, like something and turned up in a, I just love being in those spaces. I love being in conversations that goes deep. I love being in conversations that I know that within those spaces, there's going to be some revelation, there's going to be some healing, there's going to be some turning points. Like, it just tickled my fanny. It does something on the inside. Um, there's things that give me peace that I like to hold on to it. So, what gives you peace? What is it? What do I avoid now? I think we all have had those moments. Like, I've been avoiding going and down these routes. Like, no, let me just be for real. Like, no. The things that you keep running from are the things that hold the key to your growth. There's some things that you are avoiding that actually hold the key to your growth. Do you avoid hard conversations? Do you avoid do you avoid setting boundaries? Do you avoid speaking up for yourself? Do you avoid facing hurt from your past? There's some things that hurt you and you just keep pushing it to the side, pushing it to the side. No, this is the time to deal with them. This is the time to stop avoiding it, because in those moments, and what may seem like when you're bringing it up, it may seem like you feel weak or what have you, but it's not weak. It's because there's something underneath that has been needing you to acknowledge it. It's time. It's time to go ahead and acknowledge it so you can move forward with being who you need to be in the spaces you are sent to be in. What am I pretending to know? What am I pretending to not know? This is a big one. You walked into those moments, it was like, I don't know. Well, why are you staying in that space? I don't know. You do know. You do know, you're just avoiding it. This is the truth teller right here. Those moments that you are pretending to not know something that you know. You know why this relationship is no longer serving you. You know why. Just be honest with yourself. You know why this job is draining you. You know, when and what habits are, destroying your peace. You know those things. You know when God is tugging at you to move, but you're scared. You do know. Let's stop saying we don't know. So ask yourself honestly, what truth am I avoiding because I don't want to deal with the consequences? When you're aware of self, you're going to be able to have conversations with yourself like that. You're going to be able to say to yourself, like, now you know better. You ain't judging, you're correcting. There's going to be consequences once you get to this place. Consequences may be walking away from somebody, letting some things go, pivoting in life in general. It's okay. Just stop saying you don't know because you know. You are pretending not to know what you know because you don't want to face it. You don't want to deal with it. What part of myself, 5, what part of myself needs more understanding? Is it anger? Baby, I was a beast at one time in life. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of people, you see Coach Tawanda now, and for those that just have known me from growing up, I wasn't bad. I wasn't like, but I was a whole different person. Like, I had anger problems. Yeah. I dealt with a lot of sadness. It was some, like I said, 3 marriages that tells you a lot. It was my patterns in relationships. So I've been here. I've been in these spaces. Fear of failing. I had a conversation with someone actually just yesterday that was, needing a pivot. But all she saw was failure. And I'm so glad we had the conversation, because in the conversation where she was seeing failure, I was seeing transformation. You had the habit of people pleasing. You had a habit of there was a tendency to shut down. I was good at, I'm gonna hang up on you, walk away, but no, I'm just gonna politely, go ahead and address the situation, but then we can just end the call or what have you the case may be. I'm not running from situations that I saw myself running from. I'm not repeating the same patterns within relationships, although I'm single, but baby, I'm ready for this next one. But self-awareness is not about judging the parts of you that you don't like. I want you to remember that. It's about getting curious about them. Every part of you have a story. Every part of you. Some parts just need your attention. Not your avoidance. We have been avoiding some parts of us for a very long time. It just needs a little attention from you. I want you to take these questions with you today, with you tomorrow, with you on your journey. I want you to write them down. I want you to sit with them, pray over them if you need to. Whatever you need to do, I want you to take those questions and I want you to honestly, without judgment, ask yourself those questions, because awareness is going to create some clarity. And guess what? Clarity is going to create transformation. You understand? These questions, they will reveal your inner truth. They will reveal the parts of you that you have been avoiding. It's going to reveal it. Those parts of you that you've been pushing aside, you'll deal with it later, but you just know you're still unhappy, know you're still confused, and all of those things. These questions will reveal your inner truth. They'll help you stop running from yourself. They'll help you start moving in the direction that's going to be moving you forward to meeting the person you have been really desperately needing and wanting to meet. That's been desperately needing and wanting to meet you. This work, this inner work, that those things that we sometimes miss, I've learned, with setting goals and, you got your vision and things of that nature. You've heard me say many times before, mindset shift. We're going to have to shift our mindset. When our mindset shift, our energy shift, our purpose shift, our decisions shift, when we are aware of self, all of those things shift. We got to have to build the foundation. You can't build a house on rocky foundation, and self-awareness is your foundation. I'm just saying. If anything I've said thus far has resonated in any part of your life, I want you to join me December the 1st in our Vision and Goals workshop. We just won't be putting the vision board together. We just won't be talking about vision and goals. We're actually going to work on shifting mindset. You will leave with a new, renewed mindset, but tips and tools to help you to continue the journey as you move from that space. But we're going to go ahead and close this thing out, and we're going to close this thing out with you. I want you, if you're able, just drop in the comment because I really want to hear your heart. What's one thing you've learned about yourself recently? One thing that's new that you actually just learned about yourself recently. When you have a moment, just drop it in the chat. This week is about reconnecting with the real you, with the person underneath the responsibilities, the noise, the expectation, the hurt, and the pressure, because we live with it. If you, not them, not her, not he, but you, want to continue this journey in a more intentional space, with a more intentional mindset, with structure, with clarity, and with guidance, I want you to join me. December the 1st. December the 1st is going to be the kickoff. But hey, for those that cannot make it December the 1st because life have you tied up, got you doing some other things, it is perfectly okay. Because every first and third Monday, these workshops will be held. And it's going to give you the opportunity to join us in the Vision and Goals Transformational Workshop. It will be on Zoom, so you can join from wherever you are. It's your space to focus on you. This is a moment where you're going to put aside all the distractions. You're going to mute the phone for a minute, tell the kids to go and give them a little snack, tell them go in there, sit down for a second. This is a moment that you are going to have to where you get to plan out your life. You get to determine what's important to you. You get to understand what makes you happy, and you get to allow yourself to walk it out. But for now, I want you to breathe. I love that deep breath. It's something about taking a deep breath. I want you to breathe because you showed up for you today. You showed up for you, and I want you to know that your growth is not a space that you're going to walk it alone. This is a space where this is a space that's created where I'm going to walk with you. Not those deep breaths over there, is it? So again, I'm excited. I'm done. I'm done. And I did it in time. And y'all, I was trying to stay consistent and stay with the flow. Now I'm done. I can just tell about it because I was over here holding my breath, trying to finish. But I wanted to make sure that I got the information out to you. I wanted to make sure that you understood that you're important. Being aware of yourself is going to allow you to step into the version of yourself that has been waiting. Being aware of yourself allows you to walk with clarity, walk with intention, walk with confidence. It would allow you to make decisions not according to the expectations of other people. And yes, as human beings, whether it's women or men, we have expectations on our shoulder. We have been expected to show up according to what other people expected us to do. But this season, we're gonna move with the intentions of turning this thing inside out. We're going to move by the beat that actually sits with us, by the space that we create, because we're happy with that space. We find peace in that space. We have clarity in that space. Now, that does not mean that the people that surround you won't be able to receive you. It means that they're going to be able to receive a better version of you. They're going to be able to receive the version of you that's confident. They're going to be able to receive the version of you that knows exactly what you want and is not afraid to go after it. They're going to receive the part of you that have boundaries and respect for yourself. So we're not going to worry about what people are going to think. They're going to see you different, and either they're going to accept the better version of you or they don't, but that's their responsibility. Right now, right here, it is about you. It is about you creating the life that you are desired to live. It's about you stepping out of the space that has been holding you bondage, and allow yourself to meet the new you. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Yes, I will be here all week. Thanksgiving, we ain't gonna be eating about 3 o'clock. So y'all gonna see me at least about 30 minutes on Thursday. So yes, it's the consistency for me. I am determined to show up and meet you there. And you may not be there, and that's okay. But I'm going to be there to always let you know that you do not have to walk this space alone. I'm going to always be there to allow you to see that it is better that's waiting. It is a part of you that has been waiting to meet you. And I'm going to be the one to show up and be consistent with allowing you to know that it's a safe space for you to start becoming. Okay? Have an amazing day on purpose. I love you. I love you. I love you. Happy Turkey Day soon, y'all. I love you. Have a great day on purpose. Let me end this thing, y'all.